HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. Hey everybody, Matthew Bivens here, and welcome to another episode of the Having It All podcast. So today I'm going to be talking about an idea that is not new. It's not something that I came up with, and you've most certainly heard it before yourselves, but it's this idea of identifying and focusing on the one thing that's most important for you to reach your goals, whatever those goals are. And so I'm going to give a little bit of backstory to this because it's very applicable to my work. So about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I received an email from a stranger. And this stranger's name is Sebastian. And Sebastian had been on my LinkedIn profile. He had checked out some of the things that I've got going on work-wise. And he sent me an email inviting me to an event that he was putting on. The event is called the Ultra Working Pentathlon. And he wanted to invite me to this event for free and see if I would be interested in partaking in something where, you know, a lot of other entrepreneurs would be there, and we would all be honing in on our peak performance skills and working on being more efficient, more effective, and really driving that peak performance in our businesses. And so, you know, I checked it out, and we had a phone call, and I ended up really liking everything about it, and I started. And so we started this event just a couple of days ago, and I am really, truly enjoying it. And so I'm actually going to put a link to Sebastian's website and where you can learn more about the Ultra Working Pentathlon. And, you know, I'll take a minute just to describe sort of what it is. Now, these 5 categories are things that we are tracking ourselves, you know, we're being held accountable to within our teams, and we're being scored on. And so the 5 different things that we're being scored on are our sleep, you know, when did we go to sleep and when did we wake up? Whether or not we planned out our day in advance. Our fitness, did we put some time and energy into our fitness? Our nutrition, and finally, have we been focusing on our most important work? HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And so, we fill out this quick little checklist to say whether we did these things, and boom, we get a score. Now, what I really love about this, and the reason why I wanted to bring it up for this episode, is that most important work. And when I heard of that, it made me think of a book that I haven't finished. I started reading it but didn't finish it, called The One Thing. You've probably heard of this book. I'll put some links to this book in the show notes. But the book The One Thing was written by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Now, Gary Keller is the man behind Keller Williams, the real estate company. And so the whole idea of this book is, it's a very simple concept of focusing on that one thing that you need to be doing to get the results that you want. Now, it can be in whatever area of life that you want, but it's this whole concept of focusing on the one thing. Because a lot of times, if we were to create a list of high priority topics, we're going to make everything important. We're saying everything on my list is of the utmost importance. But truly, if you start to look at your to-do list, your task list, the things that you need that you say you need to be doing to accomplish a goal, really there's always one thing that's most important over everything else. And if you were to focus and accomplish that one thing, it's going to move you closer to that goal faster and easier. And so that's the whole premise behind the book. And it's a very, very similar idea with this ultra working pentathlon. Sebastian and his team call it the most important work. So what's the most important work you can be doing? So I'm currently, doing this pentathlon thing, and it's got me thinking constantly every day about my most important work. But it also has me thinking about what is most important in those areas outside of work. So we can go back to the 6 F's that are part of the Having It All framework. Now, I'll take a quick tangent. If you're new to the podcast, then you might have wondered, why is ALL an acronym, ALL? Well, it's because it stands for Abundant Loving Life. And so that life piece, I break down to the 6 F's: faith, family, friends, fitness, finance, and fun. So the Having It All framework allows you to ask yourself, am I experiencing an abundance in my faith, in my family, in my friends, in my fitness, in my finance, in my fun? And am I loving how I'm showing up and what I'm creating in those 6 areas? So what's really cool about this idea of the one thing, you can ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today or this week that's going to, increase my relationship in faith? What's that one thing I can do within my family this week that's really going to, show my family that I love them and I care for them? What's that one financial thing that I can do that's going to get me closer to my financial goals than anything else? What's that one fitness thing I can be doing or I can be adding into my life that's really going to make those shifts in my health and my wellness? In my friendships, what's that one thing I can do in my friendships that's, really going to maybe create a bridge between friendships that haven't, you haven't nurtured in a while, or whatever it is. What's that one thing you can do in friendships? And then finally, what's the one thing you can do in your life for fun that's going to create this sense of joy and peace and just childlike fun that you can be doing? And so I think it's a really great question to be asking ourselves, and just kind of keeping top of mind, because it's so easy for us to get bogged down with doing so much. It's so easy for us to say, in whatever category, let's say your fitness category, that you have to, that everything is of the same importance. I got to make sure I get the right amount of sleep. I got to make sure I'm eating the proper amount of vegetables. I must make sure that I'm drinking the right amount of water. I have to make sure that I'm doing cardio every day, or I'm doing strength training every day, or I'm doing HIIT runs every day, or I'm doing CrossFit. Like, we could get so bogged down in all of the things that we need to be doing, and we can make them all a priority, that it just becomes overwhelming. And what happens is we don't end up moving in any of them.
Before Shopify, were you wondering, where are my sales at? Now you're selling with Shopify, the global commerce platform supercharging your selling. You have no problem selling online, in person, on social media, and beyond. Gary, easy on the cha-ching.
Oh, sorry, but my Shopify sales are through the roof.
Start selling with Shopify today and discover how millions of businesses around the world use Shopify to ignite their selling. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And so what I'm saying is that instead of saying I have to be doing all of those things, just try focusing on the one thing. Pick one. And this episode kind of is in sort of alignment with my episode on consistency recently. The idea of selecting one thing that you want to start creating more consistency in. I think we need to set ourselves up for success. And one way to do that is by not creating these unrealistic expectations of what we need to accomplish and do and be in our lives. And we create those unrealistic expectations when we're saying that everything in our lives is of the utmost priority. It's not. It's impossible. It can't be. But we do that in our minds, and I do that all the freaking time. And it's been a really great practice for me in this ultra working pentathlon to really sit down before I get started on my work day and ask myself, what's my most important work? Most important work. Because I use Evernote to kind of keep track of my tasks throughout the days and the weeks. And man, I don't know how many times I have 8 bullets on my daily to-do list, and everything seems as important as the last one, right? Like, everything is of the same importance, but in reality, it isn't. And so it's been a really great practice for me to just sit down and think, okay. What is my big goal? What is that big thing I want to accomplish? And what's going to get me there? Like, which one of these actions is going to take the biggest step in getting me there? So I invite you to do the same in your life. I think if you're stuck and looking for a starting point, then the 6 F's is a great place to start. Faith, family, friends, fitness, finance, and fun. Pick one of those and say, okay, what's one thing I can do in that area today? And that's it. Make it simple for yourself. Give yourself that easy win. So I appreciate all of you hanging out with me for this episode. I'm going to put links to everything in the show notes over at Fireside Network. So there'll be a link to the One Thing book. There'll be a link to the pentathlon, the ultra working pentathlon that Sebastian created. And you can find, the show notes for all episodes over at firesidenetwork.com. And I would love to hear from you. If you've got one thing that you've been working on, or you need help trying to figure out your one thing, shoot me an email. My personal email address is mattcbivens@gmail.com. And it goes right to the top of my inbox. So shoot that over to me. I'd love to kick off a conversation with you. And, I absolutely love engaging with you, the listeners. And I just want to say that I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you listening to the podcast, supporting the podcast. This has been a incredibly, incredibly fun adventure for me. And, it's just very cool having you along for the ride. So once again, thank you so much. My name is Matthew Bivens, and here is to you having it all.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.